In a world that often values speed and instant results, waiting can feel like a challenge. We live in a society where we expect things to happen quickly, whether it's career advancement, personal goals, or even the resolution of difficult situations. But when it comes to God's plan for our lives, waiting and trusting in His timing is one of the most important lessons we can learn. God's timing is perfect, and though it may not always align with our own schedules, it is always for our good. Isaiah 55, verses 8 to 9, reminds us of this truth. For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. God's timing and His plans are far beyond our understanding. We may not always see the bigger picture, but we can trust that He knows what is best for us. His wisdom is greater than ours, and His timing is always perfect. Even when we feel like we are waiting forever, we can rest assured that God is working behind the scenes. In Psalm 27, verse 14, David offers a piece of wisdom that can help guide us when we grow impatient. Wait for the Lord, be strong, and take heart and wait for the Lord. David knew the power of trusting in God's timing. Waiting on God requires patience, but it also strengthens our hearts. When we choose to wait for His guidance rather than rush ahead on our own, we grow in faith and patience. God is teaching us to trust not only in His timing, but in His goodness, knowing that He has a plan for us that is beyond what we can imagine. Another encouraging verse is Lamentations 3, verses 25 to 26, which says, "The Lord is good to those whose hope is in Him, to the one who seeks Him. It is good to wait quietly for the salvation of the Lord." This passage reassures us that waiting on God is not a passive act. It is an active expression of hope. When we hope in God and seek His guidance, we align ourselves with His perfect plan. Waiting is good when we place our trust in God's hands, knowing that He will provide for us in His perfect timing. In Ecclesiastes 3, verse 11, we are reminded that He has made everything beautiful in its time. There is a season for everything under heaven, and God's timing is what makes each season beautiful. We may not always understand why things happen when they do, but we can trust that God is making all things beautiful at the right moment. Whether it's a season of waiting, growth, or breakthrough, God's timing makes everything fall into place in a way that only He can orchestrate. Perhaps one of the most encouraging passages about waiting on God is found in Romans 8, verse 28, where Paul writes, "And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love Him, who have been called according to His purpose." Even in seasons of waiting or uncertainty, we can trust that God is at work for our good. He is orchestrating everything in our lives to fulfill His purpose, and His timing is key to that purpose. Finally, Proverbs 3, verses 5 to 6 gives us a clear call to trust in God. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to Him, and He will make your path straight. Trusting God with our timing means surrendering our own understanding and submitting to His will. When we do this, He will lead us on the right path and make our journey clear, step by step. In conclusion, while waiting may be difficult, it is a time for growth and learning to trust God fully. His timing is perfect, and His plans are always for our good. Let us rest in the assurance that God is in control and that His timing will lead us to the best outcomes, far beyond what we could have imagined.